Hey guys, Bart with Bicycle Rider YouTube, and yes, I have my Aethos Pro in my hands again. Yesterday was a good test of the Aethos Pro in a stout 100-mile ride. We're here in Biloxi, Mississippi, and of course I'm in my bike shop here, Biloxi Bicycle Works. We are a specialized dealer. I bought the Aethos at the beginning of the year when it hadn't been out yet because I love the story behind the bike. I am a Specialized fanboy, but I wanted to test this bike out for my customers, test this bike out for the YouTube viewers under some real conditions. They say once you own a bicycle shop, you stop riding bikes. Well, that is not the truth for me. I've cut down on my mileage, and a lot of that's just because the bicycle world is pretty crazy right now, so I think everybody in the bicycle industry is working more than they ever have. That being said, I think the Aethos was definitely the right choice for me. It was a toss-up for me between the Tarmac SL7, which is just a phenomenal bike. I don't think I've ever been on a faster, better handling road bike than the SL7. But for me, with my limited mileage this year, the Aethos really helped out. I am getting older. I'm 52 years old now. I feel pretty agile for a 52-year-old guy. I still ride with a lot of people of all ages. So I'm going to say probably our average group rider out here that's pushing the A pace, is in their 30s. So as you get older, you need a little bit more comfort. You have to buy a little bit of speed, and I find myself in that position right now. This bike is comfortable. I did the Magnolia 100 yesterday. This is Monday. That was Sunday. I feel great. I did try to go out with the front group, and I hung with those guys for 30 miles. 30 miles at an average speed of 25 miles an hour was just a little bit much for me. So I had to drop out of that group, and as that rear wheel was leaving, and if you've been in that position where you're trying to get back into the pace line, you're giving it everything you have, and that rear wheel is just beyond what you can catch, that's a heartbreaking moment. I took a picture of myself. I was still smiling. Why was I smiling and getting dropped at the same time? I guess because I just love riding my bike, and I love riding this bike, and this bike ride's absolutely phenomenal. So this bike helped me stay in that group for 30 miles with my minimal fitness. And it was a star-studded group of riders, some guys that don't have the problem of being overworked right now, or have found a way to keep their training, their training rituals going. Some guys that just completed the Lambra, road racing series. So guys that have been crit racing and road racing over the last few months that are trained up. And I hung with those guys for 35 miles. It's still a little heartbreaking. I'm not used to getting dropped like that. But at least I did it in a good way. This bike definitely helped me hang in for 35 miles. And even when that was said and done and I was blown up, I was still enjoying my ride. So I kept the hammer down. I was still averaging over 20 mile an hour pace by myself. And I was able to start catching up with the other guys that are starting getting dropped out of that. We formed our own group. But, even in that at 100 miles, when my longest ride lately has been, 35 to 40 miles, I was comfortable. I wasn't shaking my hands. I wasn't going numb. My back felt good. My neck felt good. And it's not like it felt good because I'm used to putting that kind of mileage in. It felt good because this bike just rides phenomenally. There's a lot of rolling hills. When we got to the hills, there were some guys that definitely had more fitness than me. And I heard them going, I didn't mind the hills. The hills and this bike, I don't know if it's mental or what, but this bike climbs phenomenally. One, because it's light. So let me show you what this bike weighs. as I ride it. And, you know, owning a bicycle shop, I carry a few extra tools, a few extra, you know, canisters of air, just in case someone gets into trouble. I can be the guy to help them out. So the riding weight with pedals, bottle cages, extra tools, a light, a K-edge mount, everything. This bike is coming in at 17 pounds, and it's in stock condition. So I haven't changed a darn thing on this bike. I haven't even cut the steer tube yet. A lot of that is because owning the bicycle shop, I work on everybody else's bikes all the time. But just know that this bike here has been absolutely phenomenal. I do take it out on our local club rides. There are hammer sessions out there. I'm not in form, but this bike helps me ooch into the draft. This bike helps me climb the hills. This bike helps me in the sprints. So, you know, the SL7 is a fantastic bike, but, you know, I think the Aethos definitely has its place of being a really fast bike that's very comfortable. Over the year of riding this bike and being a little bit out of form, this bike has helped me be able to keep up with the club, to have fun when I'm out there, to feel competitive, and do it at a way that is very comfortable. So I've seen this bike in several different forms. A lot of people are putting Aerofly bars on it, you know, deep dish carbon wheels, you know, just doing a lot of things to this bike to make it a little bit more racy. And I've left mine stock just because I kind of like it the way it is. I can't say enough good about the Aethos. I know they're hard to get right now, but if you are looking to buy a bike that's, you know, high quality, that rides super phenomenal, but it's still very, very fast, very quick, very agile. If you love bikes and you want to buy a bike for someone who loves bikes, you know, the Specialized Aethos is one of those bikes, and I'm going to continue doing a long-term review on it, but just take it from the horse's mouth, from someone who rides this bike all the time. I can't think of another bike that I'd rather have than the Specialized Aethos. One, because of the ride, two, because of the speed, the handling, and just everything this bike says to me to just know I love riding bikes, and I've got the great bike, the perfect bike to do it on. So if I do find some flaws with this bike, I'll definitely throw it out there. But at the moment, I can't find a flaw in this bike. I can't find another bike that I'd rather have. And that's at any cost. You know, I know there's some freaking phenomenal bikes out there. I think this is about a $7,000 bike. So this is just scratching the surface when it comes to super bikes, basically. But it's just absolutely incredible. If you haven't had a chance to ride the Aethos, try one out and let me know what you think. All right, Bartwell Bicycle Rider YouTube, over and out.